Hey everyone, it's Kelly G in the Craftique Studio. Welcome in. I know it's been a while, but I was so excited that I just had to jump on and show you something brand new that's in the Craftique store right now. And these are the Lisa Horton Crafts Interference Inks, okay? And so you can see here we have the full collection available in the store right now. And these are full-size ink pads. Now, you may be wondering what's so special about these interference inks and why are there like two different type of colors on the inks? Let me talk to you about that. So each ink has, as you can see, let me get one that's a little bit more contrasting, two different colors on it. First of all, these are dye pigment inks. So it's a blend of dye and pigment. So what you're going to get is a very, very rich type of color that's going to dry very quickly, and you can do so much with it. Now, the dye pigment blend also includes a special surprise. So part of it is that you'll get a solid color, and then the other part is that you'll get like a metallic-y shimmery color. But it's not going to be very obvious right away. I'll show you how it works. So before I get into that, I'm going to show you that we have like a full array of these different colors, and they're so beautiful. Like you have like a green and purple, you have like a yellow and pink, orange and reds. So there's like a nice variety of different colors. So you're going to want them all. But they have some very fun colors, names to them. So this is like sapphire gold. This one's pink champagne shimmer. So this really beautiful rainbow of them. I'm going to show you today on the let's see, I'm going to pick the Opal Blush Shimmer. Let me take this away. And I'm going to use this Opal Blush Shimmer. Now you can use it as an ink pad for stamping traditionally, or you can use it for ink blending. I'm going to actually use it for ink blending right now because that will give you the best effect that you're going to want to see for it, okay? And so for these, I would recommend using different ink blending brushes. So you might have some already that you're using for your regular inks, that your regular ink pads. I would recommend using something completely different for these. So I'm going to use two of the Altenew mini blending brushes, and you can get a set of these in the Craftique shop as well. So you might want to use, a different one for each color match or each color option. I'm just going to use this one for this pad. And so you can probably have one for each of the pads. And they nicely fit underneath it. If you're going to like tape it and then, store them somewhere, but they also stack on top of each other, the ink pads. So as you can see here with the Opal Shimmer, you have a beautiful blue, like a sea blue, and you have a really pretty pink over here, like a blush colored pink. And then you also see kind of where the two kind of blend together. Now, I'm going to show you the magic that happens with these ink pads. And now, full disclosure, I am going live. This is my first time using these. I'm not editing or anything. So you're going to get my complete stark reaction when using these pads. So I'm using two different cardstock colors on purpose because that's going to show you the full effect of what these little ink pads can do. So this is a white, and then I believe this is Gina K Designs, I want to say in the navy. So it's a dark blue. You can use a dark blue, a black, but the key is you want a dark colored cardstock and you want a white colored cardstock just to kind of see what color effects you get with each of them, okay? So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what's happening. And I'm going to take this ink pad, and I don't know if you can see this, but already you can kind of get a sense of like the shimmery color here. And if you notice, it's like one color, and you might be wondering like, well, wait a minute, what is the color really? What's going to come out? Let's see. I'm going to ink this up. It's so juicy too, so you don't have to press down too much. I would actually blot it because you're getting a lot of ink that absorbs into the pad. It's very, very, very juicy. All right, so what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of the ink here. And as you can see, you get a lot of rich color. I would dot it, just tap it because it's so juicy. Look at the way it smoothly blends too, like really quickly. Sometimes you have to wait for it to dry a little bit in order to see the true color, but it really comes out pretty. And it's nice and vibrant. You might not be able to tell, but there's a little bit of a shine on that. Now, if you look closely, when you see the shine, can you see that pinkish color in there? I can. So it kind of gives like a blue base, but in the light, it has that pink shine. So that's the fun thing about using the white cardstock. Now, I wonder what will happen if we used it on the dark cardstock. So same thing, just gonna use the same brush, same ink pad, and look at that. Look at the magic. It almost does a reverse effect. And this time, it's the pink that's the main color. The blush color, that's your primary color. And it has that shimmer. How cool is that? So now you might be wondering, what happens when you do something else, like stamp an image, or if you kind of blend back and forth, see how it changes? So it's like magic. It's so cool how this interference ink works. It just interferes with the paper and reacts to it. So cool. And again, it's just one brush, and you look at it and you're like, wait a minute, this is not the color that shows up. It's just really amazing, that effect. So let's see what happens when we use a stamp. How about that? I'm going to use this Altenew Mini Wildflower. And I think this comes with the Wildflower set that we have in the shop, but it's just a beautiful basic flower. I'm just going to flip these over so we can see what happens when we use the stamp on white paper as opposed to the navy. Okay, so I'm going to set that on my stamp positioner, and I'm going to ink it up. Again, very, very juicy, so you don't want to be heavy-handed with it. You can just stamp it out, and if you can see, it pretty much covers it nicely. And I'm going to stamp it out. Do one more run. This is my first time using this stamp, so I'm going to make sure I get a nice even image. All right, so let's see what happens. Yeah, shimmery again. You can still see a little bit of that. I don't know if you can tell when it hits the light. It's very pretty. And interestingly enough, when you stamp the image, when it's not as concentrated, it just gives off a shimmer, like a very subtle shimmer, which is really pretty. But you still get a nice image too. So if you like that color, you can use it to stamp your images. Now, let's see what happens when we use the same ink pad, ink it up, and stamp it on the blue paper. Let's see what type of result we get. Ooh. Look at that. So pretty. This would be really nice if you had like a background stamp and you didn't want it to be like obvious, but you wanted to, give a little bit of shimmer or a little bit of tone. and think about like the lighter colors of the shimmer, like the golds or something a little bit more bright, you might get a different result there. You can stamp a bunch of different colors on the same paper, or ink blend across the paper so that you get like more of this type of prettiness. So I am loving these. I can see a lot of different projects that you can make with these, a lot of different effects. If you had solid colored stamps or solid hearts, doing that, stamping that across a background would be really pretty. So many things you can do with them. So I would encourage you to check them out. We have all the colors right now because they're just hot off the press. Not sure how long it will last, but we might sell out soon, and if so, I will reorder them as fast as possible, but they've already sold out at the supplier. So it's definitely something hot that you might want to get your hands on. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this little snippet of the Lisa Horton Crafts Interference inks. Bye.